Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng and Thousand Rain flew away like two beams of light. The land of treasures was boundless, and lakes could be over 1,000,000 square miles. How long are we going to fly like this? Thousand Rain said. Let's teleport ourselves. Okay. Luo Feng answered. His Mo Sha clan body turned into a metal sheet, and they teleported themselves almost at the same time with Luo Feng following Thousand Rain. Although it was difficult to sense the accurate coordinates during distant teleportation, Luo Feng and Thousand Rain didn't teleport themselves that far. They appeared inside a remote mountain. Thousand Rain looked down and pointed at a col between peaks and said, "Let's go there. I bet there are lots of them trying to find you. We can at least have some quiet time there." Good. Luo Feng smiled and dove alongside Thousand Rain. There were streams in that col, and the water was running. Luo Feng and Thousand Rain landed beside the stream. "Are you really Blade River Emperor, Hua?" Thousand Rain couldn't help asking. "Do you really want to do this?" Luo Feng looked at him. "No, that's not what I mean," Thousand Rain explained. "I'm not investigating you. I'm just curious. Blade River Emperor is so famous because he can kill an emperor as a sector lord, which is something that can only be accomplished by unique creatures like Xuchong Emperor. I bet there are lots of others who are curious. Then just think of me as Blade River Emperor," Luo Feng said. He smiled and nodded. "You're not him?" Thousand Rain was dazed. "Or perhaps you are. Are you a phony that the human race introduces to mislead those barbarian races who want Blade River Emperor dead? Impressive. Impressive, indeed. That way, they can protect the real Blade River Emperor and render all others' efforts in vain. Besides, the race will certainly reserve the time and bring you back to life, given your talents. This Thousand Rain is really imaginative," Luo Feng thought to himself. Thousand Rain said, "Rest assured. I won't tell anyone. You're not trying to mislead me, right? Maybe you are indeed the real Blade River Emperor. You can think whatever you want," Luo Feng said, smiling. "You can call me either Hua or Blade River Emperor. I'll answer to both." "You." Thousand Rain didn't know how to respond. "Stop talking about this," said Luo Feng. "I'm really curious about the treasures here." Luo Feng looked at the colonel. The scene was breathtaking, and the mountains were steep, where grew all kinds of plants. Rocks and streams were everywhere. Luo Feng observed it for a long time. Where are the treasures hidden? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. "I haven't seen any treasures after arriving here." "There are treasures everywhere," Thousand Rain said jokingly. "Of course, they are invisible to you." "What do you mean by that?" Luo Feng kept asking. "You know nothing, newcomer. Enter the world of glory and chat with our friends in the Hong Alliance more. You'll know more by doing that. Let me introduce you to some common sense." Thousand Rain pointed around. "All the supreme beings of the ancestral god school can leave some treasures here, and they set conditions for those treasures. As long as one is qualified, the treasures will show themselves to that one when it walks close." "Show themselves?" Luo Feng was baffled. "Treasures are not alive. How do they know whether we're qualified or not?" "You don't understand." Thousand Rain pointed to the sky and said, "The ancestral god school controls the entire five-color Aurora Lake. They'll know everything you do or touch within here." Luo Feng was suddenly enlightened. "That's right. I can know everything that's going on in Star Tower. Just like the five-color Aurora Lake. The level of beast god inheritance you've reached, the strength of your godly power, the amplitude of your soul and godly body, the control system of the world of glory should be connected to that of the entire five-color Aurora Lake," Thousand Rain said. "In a word, the control system will collect all your information. And once you're qualified for a certain treasure, it will open automatically for you. There are two conditions for obtaining a treasure. 1. Be qualified. 2. Go to the treasure directly." Thousand Rain smiled and added, "If you want treasures, show some extraordinary talents in the world of glory or inside your palace if you don't want to reveal it to everyone. Although the palace belongs to you, the control system will still know your every move. Remember, show your power. Otherwise, the control system can't collect information." Luo Feng nodded. It was exactly like him being in Star Tower, where he could see how the powerful ones in the Star Tower moved. However, that was the most he could do. He couldn't examine the souls of the barbarians and inspect the secrets inside their bodies. If you are indeed a sector lord, you can reveal your true identity temporarily in your palace, Thousand Rain said. There have been fewer than 10 sector lords arriving here since the birth of the universe, and every one of them who did was an emperor's equal. That's what makes you special. Maybe there are some treasures that are for sector lords only. Ha! Luo Feng smiled as thoughts flooded in his mind. I'll collect some information in the world of glory later, thought Luo Feng. I know so little as a newcomer. While Luo Feng and Thousand Rain were hiding at the periphery of the land of treasures, the place was filled with hustle and bustle. The news that Blade River Emperor had appeared in the land of treasures and confronted Bei Shan Knight spread like a virus. Through the virtual world of the world of glory, tens of thousands of heirs knew about it, except some, who turned off notifications. One creature after another appeared at the portal. The powerful ones who rushed to the land of treasures all wanted to see the famous Blade River Emperor. Where is Blade River Emperor? They demanded. Where is the human, Blade River Emperor? Blade River Emperor flew away with the Thousand Rain Emperor of the Dark Mist clan, answered those who knew the truth. You can confirm that the human is Blade River Emperor, right? We can all confirm it. He is the Blade River Emperor, and there are only so many emperors within the human race. Talented emperors are rare. Do you really there's another who can rival Blade River Emperor? Coincidentally, Blade River Emperor also follows the path of Beast God. Do you really think two peerless geniuses following the same path will hide their identities and rise at the same time? He must be Blade River Emperor. Makes sense. Let's go. I want to see this Blade River Emperor. I know of the rewards offered by the demon race, the automaton race, and the worm race, and all of them are incredibly generous. Especially the demon race, who offer an invaluable treasure. Although that one can barely reach the threshold of invaluable treasures, universe knights are all crazy for it. Although the land of treasures was vast, there were too many powerful ones, and Luo Feng and Thousand Rain were spotted after a short while. Look, isn't that Thousand Rain Emperor? That's right. See the black-armored human beside him? That must be Blade River Emperor. Blade River Emperor is a sector lord. Why can't I tell? Blade River Emperor is said to have invaluable treasures, which can cover his scent. 3 creatures dove towards the Colonel Luo Feng and Thousand Rain lifted their heads, and those 3 arrived. Busted. Luo Feng shook his head. He had originally planned to wander within the land of treasures, which seemed impossible now. Blade River Emperor. Blade River Emperor. All of the 3 figures were 5 feet tall with broad waists and muscles so strong it was as if they were carrying shields. They had 6 arms and 6 eyes that stared at Luo Feng, trying to discern the secrets behind this sector lord who could kill a limit emperor. Are you Blade River Emperor? A green-armored powerful one suddenly asked. He must be. He must be, the other 2 said. Powerful ones from Tabei clan, what do you want with Blade River Emperor? Stop denying it, said a powerful, purple-armored creature from the Tabei clan. It's impossible that 2 peerless and hidden talents who both follow the path of Beast God could come from human race. Blade River Emperor, the green-armored one said, gazing at Luo Feng. I've heard of your story, but I don't buy it. The human race has ordinary genes, and no matter how deeply you understand the laws and how powerful your secret techniques are, you can't defeat an emperor without an extraordinary constitution and body. Rumor has it that you're a sector lord. I bet that's fake. The green-armored undying gazed at Luo Feng and burst into laughter. Sector lord killing an emperor. That's not something that can be accomplished by you humans. You don't think Blade River Emperor is a sector lord? Luo Feng asked. The demon race, the worm race, and the automaton race seem convinced. Convinced enough to post rewards for killing Blade River Emperor. And the demon race even offered an invaluable treasure. Who knows, the undying of the Tabei clan said, gazing at Luo Feng. Maybe that's because you humans are so good at deceiving others. That sounds about right. You humans are one of the peak races, you are talented at just about everything. You don't need to explain anything. We'll be convinced if you can give out the scent of a sector lord, after which we'll apologize to you and show you our admiration. They all stared at Luo Feng, waiting for the scent of a sector lord. Thousand Rain, I'll go back first. Luo Feng turned around and told Thousand Rain beside him. I bet other powerful ones will arrive in no time, Thousand Rain said, nodding. Human. Human, 2 of the 3 creatures from the Tabei clan screamed. You 3, said Luo Feng. He turned to them and sneered. You're all stupid. I didn't deny, nor confirm that I am Blade River Emperor. I don't care if you believe it or not. Luo Feng teleported himself and vanished. You little. But before they could finish cursing at him, Luo Feng was long gone. Ha! Thousand Rain laughed, smirked, and disappeared. They all gnashed their teeth in anger. How dare this Thousand Rain Emperor be disrespectful? The green-armored one looked at his companions and said, "This Blade River Emperor is indeed careful. He didn't give away anything or have any intention of revealing his Sectorlord scent. It seems that we didn't succeed in confirming his identity. Let's go back to report to our seniors." The three powerful creatures of the Tabe clan flew away. Luo Feng teleported to the portal of the Land of Treasure, where some barbarians talking to each other immediately noticed him. "It's the human. Look, it's Blade River Emperor. He's the Blade River Emperor." The barbarians flew to him instantly, one yelling, "Wait, Blade River Emperor," while another shouted, "Human." However, Luo Feng pretended that he didn't hear anything and stepped into the portal. The barbarians could only sigh and shake their heads. Luo Feng teleported back to his palace instantly after getting back to Borhinia Island. "I didn't expect to rouse suspicions quite so soon," thought Luo Feng as he went to the second floor of a pavilion. There were futons on the ground with empty space surrounding them. Here, he could see the pools and gardens directly. He sat down with his legs crossed and looked down. On second thought, "It's not that startling," he murmured. "It's almost impossible for two hidden peerless talents to rise from the same race, not to mention both following the path of Beast God. Even I wouldn't buy it, let alone the barbarians." Luo Feng waved his hand, and the mini quantum computer appeared on his hands. It was the receiver to connect to the world of glory. "I'll enter this world of glory and see how it's different from the virtual universe of my race," Luo Feng thought. He sensed the receiver through his mind and connected to the world of glory shortly. In the world of glory, a figure appeared at the periphery of a square holding a black book. Luo Feng smiled, holding the book. "Interesting. The virtual universe uses virtual assistants to function, while this one uses this book." Luo Feng opened the book. There was only one word on the first page, written in the human language, "Name." The following pages were blank. "Please enter a username for the world of glory," Luo Feng heard a voice say when he turned to the first page. "Name?" Luo Feng considered for a moment, then answered, "Blade River." Since many powerful creatures already thought he was the Blade River Emperor, he would give himself this username. He didn't care much about the authenticity. Luo Feng turned to the second page. It was the map of the world of glory, and Luo Feng heard the voice say, "There are two districts in the world of glory. One is the open-air square, and the other is the world of battle. You can connect to the world of glory within the secret region of the ancestral god school." "Wow, it's pretty small," Luo Feng whispered. "And there are very few functions," he complained inwardly. There was no comparison. If the virtual universe was a skyscraper, the world of glory was a cottage. It only covered the ancestral god secret region, and there were only two districts, the open-air square and the world of battle. There weren't even accommodations or shopping malls. The human virtual universe was much more bustling. There were countless levels of space and a wide range of functions. Everything that you could to do was provided in the virtual universe. Luo Feng skimmed through the options. Leaderboard of the world of glory. Glory points. Points for inheritances. Now, Luo Feng understood. The only way to have extra inheritances was to come to the world of glory. There were 7 rankings on the leaderboard, starting with first-level ranking and descending to second-level ranking, and so on and so forth. Different heirs appeared on different rankings according to their wins and losses. As for Luo Feng, he was at the back of third-level ranking. 0 wins and 0 losses. Of course, there were creatures with records far worse than his. It's simple, indeed, Luo Feng thought. The Ancestral God School only wants to offer a place for us to gather by setting up such a simple virtual universe. Open-air square? Luo Feng looked away. The square was actually an open-air bar where lots of wine was being served and meals were taking place. They could be enjoyed by all heirs at any time. There were chairs assembled within the square, and Luo Feng could see tens of thousands of heirs with a glance. And with a glance, they spotted him, as well. Look, it's Blade River Emperor. It's Blade River Emperor. The heirs all noticed Luo Feng, but they chose to stand by. He realized that the heirs were in hundreds of or even thousands of separate groups. He could sense the hostility among the groups. There are always conflicts whenever there are powerful ones, thought Luo Feng. Especially in a place like this, where all the talents in the universe live. Blade River Emperor. A creature flew toward Luo Feng like a bolt of lightning. Luo Feng looked at him and realized it was human. He smiled. CHA Man Emperor. Cha Man Emperor was a low-key emperor of the human race. Although he wasn't as mighty as the emperors who could rival universe knights, he was very close. Cha Man Emperor was incredibly talented and had risen to a high level very quickly. For this, he was highly valued and specially trained by the human race. Unfortunately, he was stuck at the final step to becoming a universe knight, which had robbed him of his pride and made him meek. Many talented ones suffered similar fates. There were, after all, only so many who were qualified to become universe knights, such as Seven-Blade Emperor. Who could say for sure whether he would become a universe knight? Let's go, the Hong Alliance is here. Cha Man Emperor took Luo Feng and walked away. According to the command I received from our race, I should call you Blade River Emperor directly when you're suspected. Will it affect you? They will be just as suspicious if you don't call me that. It'll happen either way. Don't worry about it. Luo Feng smiled. Cha Man Emperor nodded and continued. These heirs are divided mainly by the alliances they belong to. The enemy alliances don't get together. We who belong to the Hong Alliance will stick together. There seem to be many groups, Luo Feng said. He could see the divisions between them. Most were in groups of hundreds or thousands of members. There were few groups with more than 10,000 members, and they represented the superpowers of the universe. Luo Feng pointed to one particularly large group where hundreds of thousands of powerful ones sat together. Who are they? There are so many members. That's the Snow Territory Alliance, Cha Man Emperor said. Although they are inferior to our Hong Alliance in terms of power, it is the alliance that has the most members. There are lots of Undying and even Emperor-level Undying within that alliance, though most are from weak, ordinary clans, with a few exceptions. You should know that the Ancestral God School doesn't care about the number of members a clan has when it distributes tokens. After a short while, they arrived at a corner of the square. That's our place, Cha Man Emperor said with a smile. Luo Feng looked to the front and saw only around 1,000 powerful ones. They were all very common clans of the Hong Alliance. This is it. Luo Feng whispered. We're the elites, Cha Man Emperor said, still smiling. That's right. We're the elites, agreed Luo Feng. No point comparing the quantity, I suppose. Luo Feng smiled back and followed Cha Man Emperor to the heirs of the Hong Alliance. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Within the territory of the demon race, balls of flames as big as stars were distributed everywhere and enveloped the valley. At the center was the towering Sky Wolf Palace. An enormous, snake-shaped creature with two heads groveled on the palace floor, but its voice was echoing within the entire space. Master of Sky Wolf, the heirs of our demon race within the Ancestral God School gave us a message. A human suspected to be Blade River Emperor went to the Land of Treasures. It's highly likely that his Blade River Emperor, the Master of Sky Wolf, was in charge of the reward for hunting down Blade River Emperor. A silhouette engulfed in fire walked slowly out of the Sky Wolf Palace. Give me the details, the Master of Sky Wolf said, looking down at the snake-shaped creature. I bring news, said the snake. I'm here to tell you first that important information is about to be sent to you. Go, the Master of Sky Wolf said. Yes. The snake flew out of the Sky Wolf Palace and teleported itself. The Master of Sky Wolf stood in front of the palace and received the information from the virtual universe. Although the telecommunication system owned by the demon race couldn't compare to the human race or automaton race, they had built a basic system by plundering parts from others. Besides, creatures who were masters of the universe could easily obtain information from hundreds of millions of light-years away without any need to access the virtual universe. Wang. Among the stars appeared a three-dimensional virtual projection. The Master of Sky Wolf looked at it from afar, watching the confrontation between Luo Feng and Bei Shan Knight in the Land of Valuables. It's him, the Master of Sky Wolf murmured. I can tell by his eyes. He had seen Luo Feng before. The speculations made by other super beings of the other races were questionable, but the Master of Sky Wolf was powerful enough to distinguish between the real thing and a forgery. The eyes were the window to the soul, and he could recognize that meddlesome human by those eyes. I can't believe he went to the Ancestral God School. It was a smart move, indeed, but I'm a bit surprised the humans are unable to protect him within their race. I'm sure he'll stay in the Ancestral God School for a long time. The worm race and the automaton race might also receive the information. They might even act first. It's going to cost them dearly if they want to kill Blade River Emperor within the domain of the Ancestral God School. I'll let them do it first. The eyes of the master of Sky Wolf gleamed as he pondered how to dispose of this individual, this man who possessed the potential to be a great being of the human race. The master of Sky Wolf had seen Luo Feng before, and he was sure that the talented human could become an undying. However, it would be exceedingly difficult for him to become a universe knight. It was difficult for anyone to become a universe knight. Like True Yang Emperor, who had been stuck at the last step for an age. Or like Cha Man Emperor, who was every bit as talented as Seven Blade Emperor but couldn't break through even after hundreds of thousands of years of training. And like Xu Chong Emperor, who was a special life form in the universe even more powerful than some bona fide universe knights. However, he still couldn't become a universe knight, even with all the resources provided by the ancestral god school. Mountain Sitting Guest had once said that rare resources could help the undying make their breakthroughs and become universe knights, but it was a huge price, and success was not guaranteed. Blade River Emperor was indeed impressive. However, he was still outshone by a special life form like Xu Chong Emperor. He must have lots of secrets, thought the master of Sky Wolf. That's how he killed an emperor limit as a mere sector lord. If he becomes a universe knight, especially a high-level one, he will rival a universe master. Perhaps he will become another Heaven Erosion Palace leader, or maybe even stronger than that. He will pose a greater threat than a universe master by then. To the enemy races, the idea of universe knights wielding the power of universe masters was, indeed, more intimidating than actual universe masters, as no one could resurrect a dead universe master. However, although universe masters like the Chaos City leader couldn't bring back a universe knight as powerful as the Heaven Erosion Palace leader, the strongest ones of the universe, such as the founder of the Huge Axe Dojo, could certainly do that. A supreme being that could be resurrected at any time. What a threat that was. There's a huge hurdle between an undying and a universe knight, said the master of Sky Wolf. If Blade River Emperor can't cross the hurdle but the human race still tries to help him regardless, they might pay a huge price without any reward. Although the master of Sky Wolf was worried about the surge in power of Blade River Emperor, this human was far from a real threat at the moment. I'll wait and see if the worm race or the automaton race make the first move. Asterisk 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 asterisk. The worm race and the automaton race received the message on the same day. 4 of the peak races in the universe, humans, automatons, worms, and demons, had territories close to each other, and the wars between them could be bitter and devastating. They would surely try to eliminate any peerless talent as soon as possible. The automaton race reasoned, the demons and worms might get to him first. There's no need to rush. Meanwhile, the worms debated, the humans must have a plan to protect Blade River Emperor now, and we need to arrange any attack carefully. The 3 peak races were the only ones concerned. The other powers that could rival the Hong Alliance were all on the fence. As for the weaker ones like the 9 Territory Alliance, they would love to see the 4 peak races destroy each other in battle. Asterisk 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 asterisk. On the open-air square in the world of glory, Luo Feng quickly became friends with many powerful beings. The Hong Alliance really doesn't have many heirs. Luo Feng couldn't help saying. Indeed, Li Emperor said with a nod, sitting beside Luo Feng. But this is only a quarter of us. We humans are rare only because the ancestral god school distributed their tokens indiscriminately among the races, rendering us at a disadvantage. Besides, the Hong Alliance wants only elites, and those within the alliance are either powerful races or subsidiaries thereof. Luo Feng nodded. There were several powerful barbarian races within the Hong Alliance, and they all consisted of universe masters. We don't have lots of members in the Hong Alliance, and that's why we don't get lots of heirs, Li Emperor said. The beast god inheritance is only one of the many ways to become stronger, said Cha Man Emperor, shaking his head. Humans are relatively weak within the ancestral god school. Li Emperor and Cha Man Emperor were both humans, and the halos on their heads were gone. What's most frustrating is that it's so difficult for us to earn glory points, Cha Man Emperor said, shaking his head a second time. We humans have the virtual universe, which is envied by countless other races, especially in the world of glory. Lots of barbarians won't even challenge us or accept our challenges. You can't earn glory points without enough battles. Thus, we don't have the opportunities to receive the inheritance. Li Emperor brought his wine glass up and said, we can only challenge others in the Hong Alliance. Few within our alliance share the same level of inheritance, however, and we all know each other pretty well, so we don't challenge those who can beat us. Challenge? Luo Feng said, tilting his head. He had read the rules in the Black Book and knew that the world of glory was divided between the open-air square and the world of battle. Glory points could be gained and lost in the world of battle. Each newcomer would have 3 glory points, and the smallest price to pay for each battle was 1. An heir had to send a letter of invitation to battle first, then wait until for an affirmative response before he could engage in a fight. 100 glory points could be exchanged for 1 inheritance. Can you imagine how difficult it is to get 100 glory points without any challenges? Cha Man Emperor said with a sigh. Occasionally, there are some who challenge us, but they're ultra powerful. If we answer to that, either we're at least at the same level, or we're just being stupid. It is so difficult to earn glory points, Li Emperor agreed. Thousand Rain Emperor stood to the side, smiling as he said, compared to you humans, I'm lucky as I'm not so isolated. However, you can earn glory points only if you win a battle. Otherwise, you'll lose points. If you lose all your glory points, you have to wait for an era to get a new one. If you lose all of them 3 times, you have to wait for 10,000 eras for another chance. And if you lose them 6 times, you have to wait for 100,000 eras. So on and so forth. That's why everyone is very careful and will only make a large bet if they are certain they can win. Normally, the wager is only for 1 glory point per battle, but larger bets will happen under only extreme cases. Thousand Rain Emperor shook his head and added, although there are innumerable heirs here, it's almost impossible to get an extra inheritance through glory points. Don't gloat, Cha Man Emperor said. At least you get challenged. Not very often, Thousand Rain Emperor replied. And most of them are stronger than me. Luo Feng quietly considered how difficult it was to exchange an inheritance with glory points. Just then, many heirs of the other races began to notice Blade River Emperor's arrival or, more specifically, the arrival of Blade River. On the Black Book of the World of Glory, an arrival time and name, along with a note, always appeared when a newcomer arrived. Someone glanced at their book, saying, it says here Blade River is here. And it reads human for the note. It must be Blade River Emperor. Then that means he is here now. The barbarians all looked from afar. It's impossible for a sector lord to kill an emperor limit only with the law comprehension, someone said. He must possess invaluable treasures. However, in the world of glory, everyone has the same intensity of godly bodies. Even Zhu Chong Emperor has the same constitution as we do. And we must use the weapons provided by the world of glory. Even Zhu Chong Emperor was defeated many times in the world of glory. This Blade River Emperor? A 3rd level heir. I'll invite him to a battle, someone spoke up. I'll do that too, another cried out. It'll be interesting to bully and humiliate this legendary Blade River Emperor. I'll crush Blade River Emperor. I'll make him miserable. All at once, a plethora of talented heirs from every race were sending battle invitations to Blade River. As Luo Feng continued chatting with Thousand Rain Emperor, Cha Man Emperor, and Li Emperor, he felt the trembling of his floating black book. Hold on, he said as he opened it up. His eyes went wide. The number 10,232 filled the blank beside their invitations to battle line in the book, and the number was soaring. Now 12,000. 13,000, 14,000. Now 20,000. And still rising rapidly. Luo Feng was just listening to Cha Man Emperor and Li Emperor complain about how difficult it was to acquire challenges. However, in the blink of an eye, the invitations to battle sent to him had already skyrocketed. After only a few seconds, it reached 30,000. This is unbelievable, said Luo Feng, his heart pounding at sight of the number. I hadn't received any invitations to battle last time I checked the Black Book. It happened so fast. Luo Feng had entered the world of glory just now and had given himself the name Blade River. Before that, even if other races had wanted to challenge Blade River Emperor, they couldn't find the target. But now, Luo Feng appeared in the open air square, and almost all the heirs knew about it. As expected, many of them wanted to battle the legendary Blade River Emperor. Besides, Luo Feng was one of the 3rd level beast god heirs, and out of all 7 levels, the 3rd level contained the most heirs. More than 100 million heirs were at the 3rd level. There were only a few universe knights, whereas hundreds of millions of the heirs were emperors. Almost all of the talented fighters who went through hundreds of millions of years of training reached the 3rd level. A considerable number of them had completed the 3rd level and started to comprehend the 4th level, like true Yang Emperor. Accordingly, the largest portion of the heirs belonged to the 3rd level, followed by the 4th level. The rest, in descending order, were the 2nd level, the 5th level, the 6th level, the 7th level, and the 1st level. The Heaven Erosion Palace leader represented the 7th level heirs, who were almost as powerful as beast gods. As strong as they were, only a few dozen reached the 7th level. As for the 1st level, even the newcomers had some foundation, so there was no one at the 1st level. Thousand Rain Emperor, Lili Emperor, and Cha Man Emperor all noticed that Luo Feng was staring at the black book. "What are you looking at?" Thousand Rain Emperor shouted. "Who?" Luo Feng looked at his 3 friends from the Hong Alliance, knowing he didn't need to hide the news that so many other races were challenging him. He whispered, "I've received tons of invitations to battle." "Tons of invitations," they said. All of them were dazed. "How many have you received?" asked Lili Emperor. 100. Realizing something was wrong, he shook his head. "Blade River, you're too famous. You can kill a limit emperor as a sector lord. The heirs here are from hundreds of millions of races throughout the universe. They won't rest until they fight you in a battle, and many of them want to grasp this opportunity to crush you. I bet you can receive lots of invitations. Perhaps thousands." Both Cha Man Emperor and Thousand Rain Emperor looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng blocked the space around them to ensure that only they could hear him as he murmured, "More than 50,000 already." 50,000? Lili Emperor said, opening his eyes wide. 50,000. Cha Man Emperor sighed. He had spent an eternity on Borhinia Island, and he hadn't even taken part in 1,000 battles. "It's been such a short time," Thousand Rain Emperor said, dazed. Cha Man Emperor was a bit let down. "It seems," he said, "that I've underestimated how much those other races want to fight you. You're just too famous, and you're only a sector lord. Lots of the treasures and true treasures were absent in the world of glory. You'll be at a disadvantage when you're fighting them. Not only do they want to fight you, they want to crush you. They think they are superior to you." Luo Feng glanced at the black book. He had already received more than 60,000 invitations. There were, indeed, lots of great beings from other races who wanted to fight him. "Blade River Emperor, you're one of the 3rd-level heirs," Thousand Rain Emperor said. 3rd-level heirs and 4th-level heirs make up more than 99% of all the heirs here. And there are more than 90 million 3rd-level heirs. You'll receive 900,000 invitations to battle even if only 1% of them challenge you. Luo Feng nodded his head. "You need to be careful," Thousand Rain Emperor continued. "Don't accept invitations without consideration. All the heirs use the same godly bodies during the battles in the world of glory, and they're all 100,000 times stronger than the body of a sector lord. You can choose your own look and body type, but your constitution is the same. And you have to choose from weapons within the world of glory, which are all ordinary weapons. The playing field is kept even. All the treasures you obtained outside and all the special skills you happen to have will disappear. When you're in battle, you can only use fusion laws. All other laws are useless in the world of glory. Only fusion laws can generate power." Luo Feng nodded, listening carefully. "For example," Thousand Rain Emperor continued, "Zhuchong Emperor is a special organism unique in the universe. But in the world of glory, he doesn't have the incredible godly body, the extraordinary techniques, or the true treasures. Thus, he becomes ordinary. He's only at the upper middle tier of the 3rd-level heirs, and he will drop to one of the lower middle ones when he becomes a 4th-level heir." "Yes," Cha Man Emperor said with a frown. "Besides, sector lord's mind powers can't compare to that of an undying fighter. You'll be at a disadvantage." Blade River Emperor, Lili Emperor said, "The powerful fighters are all peerless in their races. Quite a few have come up with their own pinnacle techniques, and several of them even came up with ultimate techniques. As for law comprehension, there are some at the 3rd level that almost complete it. When it comes to body amplification, all of them have their own techniques, and their willpower is top tier." Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. Ultimate techniques. The primal Chaos City leader praised him after he created his own pinnacle techniques. In a place like Borhinia Island, where hundreds of millions of peerless talented fighters lived, it was unsurprising that lots of them had created their own pinnacle techniques. However, Luo Feng was amazed that several had created ultimate techniques even though they had only completed the first few moves. The Ancestral God School gathers talented fighters from all the races in the universe, thought Luo Feng. They have various talents and various life forms. Some have incredible godly bodies, and some of them have extraordinary techniques. It's conceivable that a few of them could come up with ultimate techniques. You have to think twice before you accept challenges, as a commitment is binding, Cha Man Emperor said. They'll only be nullified after you lose all your glory points, so you need to be careful. Luo Feng said, nodding. Suddenly, Several voices arose from afar. Blade River Emperor, shouted a voice. I, Taijing Emperor of the Demon Race, challenge you. Do you dare to accept it? Blade River Emperor, you can name your bet, another voice cried out. But apparently, you only have 3 glory points, so I'll bet you 3 glory points. Do you have the guts to do so? I highly doubt that Blade River Emperor is that powerful, another jeered. Perhaps he got famous because he was lucky. More voices flooded the area. All spoke in human languages. Some were high, and some were low. Some were squeaky, some were like thunder, and some were hoarse and echoing. All the other races were provoking him. Yes, provoking him. They were all peerless talents within their own races, especially in the world of battle, where all the special effects were void. How could they possibly admit to the power of a sector lord? Asterisk 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 asterisk. Do you think Blade River Emperor will accept the challenges? Asked a lanky powerful one with 9 leaves on its head. He stood with several others, all of whom were green and black with leaves on their heads. Their skin resembled bark. They were of the Fanling clan and had no genders. All were descendants of the Fanling tree. Maybe he will, at first, another replied. However, he'll realize the powers of the other races after losing once or twice. There are many challenging him this time, and we might not have the chance to fight him. He has only 3 glory points, and he'll lose all of them in no time. He won't be able to fight after losing them all. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Luo Feng did, indeed, want to accept the challenges from the talented fighters of other races. However, he was still rational. He knew he shouldn't underestimate them. They were not just some ordinary powerful fighters from the outer domain battlefield. Many of them had created their own pinnacle techniques, not to mention those who had created ultimate techniques. The numbers still increasing, said Luo Feng, looking at his black book. It had already hit 100,000. Cha Man Emperor? Yes, Blade River. Cha Man Emperor said, looking at him. I've got an idea, said Luo Feng. You give me the number of the virtual universe. I'll leave the world of glory and enter the virtual universe to then connect you. Let's have a mock fight in the virtual universe. How does that sound? Cha Man Emperor's eyes gleamed. Good. Clever, Li Emperor said with a smile. You'll have a mock fight in the virtual universe first so you can determine how powerful you actually are compared to other third-level heirs. After that, you'll know who to choose to fight. Cha Man Emperor and I are both upper middle tier of the third-level heirs. I'll join, too. You can easily learn how powerful you are, relatively speaking, by fighting us. Count me in, Thousand Rain Emperor said. I'm from the Hong Alliance and have the number of the virtual universe, too. Haha. Thank you all, Luo Feng said. Luo Feng had a strong desire to fight after receiving so many challenges. How could he possibly let it go? He didn't know when or if he would receive so many invitation letters again. After being given the number of the virtual universe, Luo Feng's mind left the world of glory and connected to the virtual universe. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Inside one of the practice fields in the virtual universe. A range of rocky cordilleras ran along the practice field. Luo Feng stood on one of the mountains while Thousand Rain Emperor, Li Emperor, and Cha Man Emperor stood across from him. Blade River, said Cha Man Emperor. Let's at least make it a good fight. Their battle senses burned brightly like Seven Blade Emperor and Meng Sui Emperor before, having been silent for a long time. But in terms of power, these fighters were stronger. This video will end here.